Triage and Onward. Tonight's episode, once again, we are being joined by the lovely ladies over at thegrumpycookies.com. Again, all your nerd paraphernalia that you can think of: clothing, undergarments, mouse pads, backpacks, shoes. They've got shoes. They've got some really slick designs for shoes, honestly. If I had this surplus funds, yeah, definitely I'd get myself a nice pair of kicks. But whatever you're into, anime, Star Wars, horror, you can find it over at thegrumpycookies.com. That said, we will get into tonight's story. We rejoin our group of adventurers, having ending a long rest. They had arrived at the fort that their companions had set off to do a reconnaissance mission on. Unfortunately, the reconnaissance mission turned into an infiltration mission, as they were joined with other members of the Telrian military. The control of the fort was contested heavily before a tide of undead swarmed the fort. Our hero's companions managed to survive the fight, but not without severe injuries all around. But through careful application of our hero's various gifts and spells and powers, they were able to stave off an infection that was preparing to run rampant in the fort. That gift, in particular, provided by one Vernon, was enhanced and enabled through an artifact that was acquired through an exchange with one particularly eccentric individual, one Count Marcel. But after all of that, with extensive triage being performed by Evany and Celeste, and a comforting bonding moment between Lucky Quilt and his adoptive younger brother from the orphanage, Vernon took a short stroll outside the fort to where his family's domicile used to reside. And there he happened upon a mechanism on his old fireplace that he never realized was there before. A brick that, when pressed, slid in and displaced a box that was stored and hidden within the chimney. And inside he found a relic, an artifact that perhaps was left there specifically for him. Returning to the fort, he and his companions settled in for the night. And in the morning, we joined them around the fire, while bowls of porridge and some fried eggs are being passed about amongst the guards on duty, and some bowls of food being brought into the patients in the triage hospital. And with that, let us join my friends in the voice chat. And we are live, my friends. We are still waiting on one hammer.
It's not hammer time yet.
Have you checked the hammer sign?
So, as I said, you guys have awoken at whatever intervals that each of you find yourselves rousing in the morning. The patients that you guys have checked on, I do believe there was one individual left that needed a cleansing, and I think we preemptively deducted the 5 lay on hand points from Vernon for that.
I
right?
need to log into Roll20 because there might have been 2 people.
No,
I'm
there was
pretty sure it was 2.
no, there was
because,
just
like,
one left.
Well, I
Yeah,
remember what's his face saying that he was saying, "Oh, that one, will survive, but that one is not going to survive the night."
Well, that was
Yeah,
he said that because there was 3 people that were still afflicted, and by getting the artifact from Marcel, you would have had enough points to
you're
cure
right.
2 of
Okay.
them. So that left 1 person.
Gotcha. Because I got some up front. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so we preemptively deducted the 5 from your new day's total because you were committed to cleansing them first thing.
Yeah.
So, that all said, I'm going to assume that you're probably one of the first ones up, especially given your training regimens that you probably stick to very, pardon the pun, religiously.
Yeah.
Totar's probably also out doing his own training, considering he is a body type. And as such, go ahead.
Since the day hasn't even started yet, I'm gonna do a wisdom save to see if I even slept.
All right, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
I was done.
I realized I did not move to this page.
I was about to say it, but y'all were talking, so.
Man, I did get hammered almost perfectly aligned. There we go.
I did not sleep last night.
Well, that's
Brian
really
did not sleep
unfortunate.
last night.
That means you don't have any lay on hands.
What?
If you
You
did
didn't
not
rest.
if you did
Wait,
not
is
rest,
it not still resting?
Yes, you still have to rest.
so
You literally have to close your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
you have to actually get proper rest to get the benefits of
Okay.
a long rest.
As someone who does not understand D&D mechanics,
I was gonna say, I don't
Maybe
think
I
it
just
ever
sleep
mentions
poorly.
you have to sleep. I think it says you have to become inactive anywhere for, depending on the campaign, 8 hours or 2 weeks.
Oh, the thing is if you are running on no sleep, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw as well.
Yes, that's the one thing that does happen. You do have to
That-
make Constitution saving.
that's what I was prepared for. And then hearing that I wasn't going to get any of my resources back, I was like, what the fuck?
So roll me that con save. That's unfortunate. That is a
spectacular.
level of exhaustion.
Just to quote so we're clear. A long rest is a period of extended downtime at least 8 hours long, during which a character sleeps for at least 6 hours and performs no more than 2 hours of light activity, such as reading, talking, eating, standing watch, blah 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 blah
So you
Okay,
still
I
have
was-
to sleep.
blah. So if you've not slept at all,
Can I?
you don't get any resources back because you have not had your long rest.
I'm going to go
Maybe
on
I
a
could
middle
take this as
ground.
a learning moment.
I tell you what, we're going to go on to a middle ground. Because you did attempt at rest, I'm going to give half of your resources. So that would put you at that many lay on hands left after healing that individual.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure, no, we didn't have a combat, so you would have had all your smite points still.
What does the single point of exhaustion do?
Let us double check.
More than you think.
So, exhaustion is measured in 6 levels. At 6 levels, you're just dead. But
Yeah.
a single level of exhaustion, all your ability checks, which is all of your saving throws, and unfortunately, your initiative, are at disadvantage.
Let's see. I'm gonna use an inspiration already.
If you wish to, I definitely appreciate. You know what? because you're committing to it, I was actually preparing to give you an inspiration, so we're just going to let you do a free reroll for this.
Okay. Because I figure this is not a situation where sleep is exactly conducive. Surrounded by the rotting dead bodies and the
There was
already long gone dead bodies of his compatriots.
like you probably like the rot is for the most part
Okay,
not
is
immediate.
something wrong?
The dice
is that
hate
three
you.
ones in a row, or is there something wrong?
Oh my god. We found who should have been the wild
What?
magic sorcerer.
What happened?
That
Is
is
actually 3 ones in a row?
that
or
is-
Did I do something with the settings?
I don't know.
3 nat ones in a row?
Can he
That-
just
Yeah.
roll one more time, but not actually take the roll, just to make sure his dice aren't?
I mean, he still
screwed?
has an extra inspiration if he really wants to burn it.
Well, I'm just saying, just to
Okay.
make sure
I
it
mean, I
doesn't
was
roll
already-
a one again.
Let's
I'm
see.
sorry, but
I
don't
was
wait.
already-
Doesn't something catastrophic happen after 3 in a row?
No. That's I
I
think
should
that's
have closed my
Offler's-
stupid mouth.
In my game, it does.
No. It's
Okay.
if you get 3 nat
Uh,
20s in a row, you instantly kill the thing that you triple nat 20'd on. So are you
Okay,
using
so
that
one-
last
one more.
inspiration?
Okay, there you fucking go.
Okay. Dirty
It's
20.
not a one.
Dirty 20. Okay,
So
so
I've got all my ones out of the way
all right.
for the rest of the campaign.
No, you're not going to be that lucky.
Yes.
But at least for the rest of the session, I hope.
Sorry, what?
But
Anyways,
yes, so you feel the fatigue of having, just effectively spent a vast majority of the last 8 hours staring at the stone surface of the ceiling or the walls, or mindlessly pacing the halls. You feel the fatigue, but it hasn't quite set its hooks in yet. Just know that each subsequent day that you go without getting proper rest, the DC on your Constitution save increases
gotcha.
as it gets harder and harder for you to continue to function at that same level with no sleep.
You hear that, Joseph?
Hey, I was trying very hard to not think
Oh.
about that.
Shots
Damn.
fired. Shots fired.
Shows-
Okay, so
shows death.
If you get 6 of those, you die.
Didn't she have like 12?
Jesus,
At least 3.
guys, quit
All
bullying
right,
the
that's enough.
quit bullying Tiger. Okay,
Yeah, that's my job.
so
It's only his job.
It was my job before your job. Remember that.
all right,
There you
listen,
go.
listen. You're both pretty. Let's continue.
I can respect. Oh, thank you.
So, as you guys are starting your mornings, what are you guys doing with your morning? Aside from, going and purging the disease from the remaining afflicted.
I can tell you
Um,
right now, Ebony's probably checking up on people as like a brief morning jaunt.
What's the weather out like outside?
how's the weather?
You know what? Roll a d20 for me.
Ew.
Snazzy.
Ooh, actually, no. I know what I want. I want you to roll. Let's see. Okay. I want you to roll a d100 for me.
Ooh, gotcha.
Okay, so currently it's not very heavy based off, I'm combining the two rolls. Based off of the first roll is determining the intensity of the second roll. A very, very light snow is falling, just very sparse it is quite cold out, but it's not quite cold enough to where it's sticking. So like almost as soon as a flake hits the ground, it almost immediately melts.
Okay.
It's very light, very fluffy. It's definitely not falling straight down. Each snowflake is dancing and pirouetting through the air. It's almost magical, especially considering you and Evany in particular are from, Worldport proper, which only ever sees maybe a day of solid snow every like 5 to 10 years because of how far south it is in comparison, and also being coastal. It doesn't quite get cold enough on a regular basis to have snow. And Lucky and Totar, you guys are also much further south, but you guys are still close enough to the mountains that you guys can actually look up and be like, hey, look, there's snow on the mountains. Vernon's the only one that has had active, regular, frequent experience with snow in general. So for the four of you, it's almost a novel experience.
Okay. I would say like at first like Celeste would like be working with Ebony to check in on all the patients and help with the recovery, especially in the more milder cases. But after a little while, realizing how much time is passing, she was gonna probably try to quietly slip away and find like a pretty quiet, secluded area outside to start like her daily meditations and readings to her faith. And I would imagine like the snow and like since especially she doesn't really get a chance to see all that snow, that kind of really picks up the pace. Like she gets really excited to participate in that daily session for her.
All right. And by the way, because I really liked the question, have inspiration.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to do anything? Because I already kind of have something in mind.
I do as well, but I'll see what you do first.
All right. Sort of overnight, while trying to take his mind off of things, Vernon has already polished his armor and left it with the rest of the party, and is currently outside practicing his unarmed strikes on a thin piece of cloth nailed against the wall.
Yeah, there's considering it's a military fort, there is a whole slew of various kinds of training dummies. A lot of them are very severely damaged, mostly because of the combat that this fort had very recently fallen to. But there's enough material there that if you wanted to actually practice again, there's actual like training posts that actual unarmed martial artists would use at the fort for their own training.
Well, knowing that is a better option, that would be obviously better.
So as you're kind of
So Vernon would head there.
all right, you know what? Poke and prod around your sheet for a moment. Roll me in athletics.
All right. Oh, good. Yeah. For some reason, I thought I had a advantage on.
So anyone when they if they happen to come out and witness you doing your training, he is putting in work. He is, there's actual physical steam rising off of him. As I'm assuming that you're probably not, because you're not wearing your armor. considering
Yeah.
what you're doing, the exertion you're doing, you're probably out there shirtless, like the psychopath that you are.
Yeah.
And as the snowflakes are falling, as they land on you, they actually sizzle and almost immediately turn into steam. As you are working through something through physical exertion of beating the hell out of an inanimate object.
That's how my therapist told me to do it.
So while you're doing that, and Evany is making her rounds in the triage center, and
She's probably talking to just the injured, just kind of like, giving them.
what's your
nice
pain level?
conversation.
Anything I can do
Yeah,
to
and
help
to
you
try-
feel a little better? Blah blah blah, stuff like that.
Yeah, and kind of just being like, hey, you want to just talk about stuff that's not, pain and death.
I will say, especially after the magical administrations that yourself, Celeste, and Vernon applied throughout the night last night, and even this morning with Vernon coming in and abolishing the last of the disease from the fort, spirits are much higher right now. Like, there's still lots of injuries, and some of them are going to take a little bit longer to heal than others. Totar's Tolig's everything is going to take a lot longer to heal. Stuff like that. A lot of broken bones are not going to mend overnight. But
So, also Pepper's wings would take for.
oh yeah, that's going to take a while. But all in all, everybody's in much better spirits right now.
Good.
Lucky, what are you doing this morning as you rouse and find your brother in good spirits?
I'm going to start hunting for where the kitchen is.
The kitchen will not be too hard to find. Mostly because
Perfect.
the kitchen has been extremely damaged. Currently, what's being done for cooking is a large pot out just outside of the triage area that has a fire going on underneath, and they've got, it's a pretty big fire, so they got a large pot over here, and they've got like a griddle surface and a grill surface where they're kind of cooking up different kinds of meats, frying up some eggs, stuff like that. But the kitchen itself is like, you walk in there and your heart breaks a little.
Well, as I'm wandering around asking them questions about what I want to do, I'm just going to cast Mending every now and again to try and fix little things that I can.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation too. Why not? Just span them. Why not?
Yeah, you're working.
Free.
There's only so much that you can do with those cantrips, but the effort does not go unnoticed. You do fix a lot of the damaged tools and pieces of equipment, cooking knives, spatulas, rolling pins, cutting boards, stuff like that. But a lot of the more structural type damage, you quickly realize is far outside of the capacity and scope of your cantrips.
No, that's fine. And then I'm going to find a table, if there is one, and I'm going to start offloading Pyrex dishes of lasagna. And I'm basically going to turn to them and say, whatever you can do with this, it's going to rot soon. Do what you can, even if it's lasagna soup. Go for it.
Lasagna soup that doesn't sound bad at all.
When approached correctly, it really isn't. But the Italian in me recoils just at the phrase, just because I love lasagna. That's proper lasagna.
soup.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't have the time to make it as a proper lasagna.
Yeah.
But
I imagine it. Some of the best parts of the lasagna will dissolve.
yes,
The pasta definitely would.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
The ricotta
At the same-
is what I was thinking of.
at the same time, Lucky has learned over the years,
It's-
do not waste food. So,
definitely don't waste.
Do not waste food.
yes. He wants the Pyrex things back, but you know, he'll get them back like eventually. He says just to leave them to the side and he'll come back for them. But so I don't think they're disappearing anytime soon unless the DM magics them away.
Are they made out of glass?
Yeah.
I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pyrex is
Which
around
in-
here.
Which, if we're in a medieval setting, glass is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, fancy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, magic is wild.
Yeah.
The magic is wild.
Mm-hmm. So he's gonna leave that with them, so I can take it out of my bag, so I know it's not rotting in there anymore. And what else could we do?
Can you pull a rabbit out of that bag?
Wrong
I'll go around
campaign.
and see if anyone. I'm going to go around and see if anyone needs like
Wait, what did you
repairs
say?
or what.
That's a reference for later. Sorry.
Sorry. You're good.
So I'm gonna go around and see if anyone needs any repairs or anything, like any stitching and whatnot, because it's been rough for people.
Yeah.
Also, you said that the fairy's wings was torn?
As in, like, a solid, like... Remember, she's very, very small, and a solid, like, 4 to 5 inches of one of her 4 wings is gone.
Oh, completely gone. It's
Yeah,
not
torn off.
Oh, so... I was like, if it was, like, torn, I could have, like, tried to stitch it back into shape so it would heal better, but... if that's not gonna work. If it's gone. It's worth a try, huh? Overall, he's just trying to keep his mind off the fact that Talik's been beating the shit out of, and he's just trying to help out as much as he can. If he runs out of things to do, he's just going to sit and practice his runic thread spell over and over again.
All right.
Like casting it in ways differently than normal. Like he's just trying to find like acrobatic ways to do it. If that makes
Finding
sense.
ways to make it into more of a utility.
Yeah.
Do the granny shot.
He's trying to make it more useful, if that makes sense. Like
Totally.
It's like instead of having a blueprint of a spell like most wizards do, I think sorcerers just kind of make it up as they go along. So he's refining it, as it were.
All right, so...
But he doesn't want to cast a first level spell. I don't want to blow up this early.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, Totar, what are you up to this
All right,
morning?
just want to make sure I'm back in the right setting here because I did miss a little bit in the beginning. I apologize. As we are at a fort with soldiers and basically that just got overran and basically is the next day, correct?
Yeah, we're at a fort that our side had just taken over. It's a fort that has been getting snatched up by both sides back and forth for ages.
Okay.
And it is the next
Is
day.
this really what Major Gresnick told us would be here? Because it sounded like it was a scouting mission, and this ain't no scouting mission.
It was originally a scouting mission. And then some of our troops, some of our side showed up. At which point, your companions, I rolled a die to see whether or not they would try to lend a hand or not, and they'd offered to lend a hand.
Gotcha. I was good. I was figuring out if I was going to be upset at the Major or not.
Oh, the mission was exactly what it was supposed to be, and then parameters changed.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
It's going to keep happening too.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I would walk out of the tent that I rested in, and I would look around. How would the soldiers around the area? They seem on a much more chipper mood, or would they kind of seem like they're just kind of coming back from what has just happened?
Roll me a perception. or rather,
Oh, great.
insight.
Both. Insight. I'm just as good at that.
You could ask him.
I mean,
Like, how you guys doing?
Like
It's
you-
cooking good looking.
Jesus, no. You
Says to the man missing half his face. Sorry,
Oh my god.
you're a menace.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I didn't realize you were just about to start. Sorry.
So you're not the best at reading people on the best of times. So you're not certain exactly what you're seeing on everyone's faces. Like, you don't recognize that person's expression is one of very grim determination to make the most out of the time that he has, between now and whenever the next attack may or may not come. You don't recognize that person is in much higher spirits than they would have been yesterday because, one of their battle buddies is on the mend. But I will say, I was giving you a passive bonus for the more primal aspects of survivalism. You recognize that everyone, to some degree, is still fairly tense, fairly ready for what they don't know, but they're ready for something. They're just worried about when that something is going to happen.
Me, being a warrior myself, look around. And I look for the officer in charge.
Uh-oh.
How do you look for the officer in charge?
I would walk over to one of a soldier of some sort. I'd walk up. Who's commanding?
Kind of sits there, pauses for a moment regarding you, looks around for a moment, looks at one of the big piles of corpses. And
I
kind
shake my
of
head.
purses his lips for a moment and goes, well, I guess the ranking officer would be Field Commander Elias now.
Good. Thank you. Could you point me in his direction?
That's our buddy.
He kind of looks at you and gestures towards the triage center. He's like, I believe he's probably over in triage center. He came here with you guys yesterday.
I pat him on the shoulder. Very true. Thank you. As I turn around and walk towards the triage.
Just past the door into the main triage center, there's an office that you can see. As you approach, you see some soldiers kind of going in, with packages, paperwork, and whatnot, and coming back out, and you can hear like tangible stress from inside that room.
I put a slightly softer tone to Tatar's face as possible as he walks up to the current and asks, "May I enter?"
I enter. Oh, you're not one of mine. Sorry. Come on in. Totar, was it?
Correct.
He gives you a very weary, haggard smile before lowering his gaze back to several sheets of paper in front of him as he's kind of rifling through them, writing down something on one. Well, he's like writing on a page that's to his right while he's looking at a page to his left, writing something down really quickly. And then as soon as he's done, he turns and he goes, taps the paper and goes, Major Resnick. And you see the paper fold itself up rapidly in strange angles and patterns before folding itself up into the shape of a bird and flying over your shoulder and out the window.
I nod. Nice magic. Take it, messages to other allies?
Yes, it's about the fastest and most expedient way, or the cheapest way to make certain we can get information across large distances. Unfortunately, I'm not well versed in the arcane arts to be able to communicate freely at long distance, and neither is Resnick.
And I take it no other mage here are able to help.
Unfortunately, as he pulls out some folders and rifles through them, picks up a stack of folders and puts it down. He goes, "Fortunately," he puts a hand on it. "Everyone here is dead." As he gestures to the pile of folders, and anyone that isn't in this folder right here, in this pile of folders right here, that's still at this base, is not adept in the arcane in the slightest.
But they are soldiers.
They are.
Is this important? Must this be done now? As he taps the table.
I think I've gotten done with most of the important housekeeping, as it were. As he kind of gestures around, you notice that particular parchment that he transformed into a bird, there seems to be a box full of the same pieces of paper, and that box is very, very, very empty looking. There's only a few sheets left. And he gestures to that box, and he goes, "That box was filled to the brim. 50 sheets. I have 4 left. Most of those were correspondence to the family of those we lost here, so they can start making arrangements back home for when we bring back as much of their loved ones as we can."
I mourn the dead that you have to do this with. But for now, we have the living. Those who are high-strung, scared, on edge of everything. They need a leader. As I look at him.
He pinches the bridge of his nose as he goes, "Aye, you're not wrong.
But, do not worry, you do not need to make great speech. What is the routine you would do on this base? What is something they would do every morning? They need structure now. They need something familiar. Something that's not battle, but something that's ingrained in them from training."
You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Let's see." As he rifles through a different stack of folders real quick. And you see him sitting there. He's like, private, corporal, private, sergeant. There we go. He opens up the folder. You see his eyes scan it real quickly as he closes it. All right. Let me check in the triage center and make sure the sergeant isn't there. He stands up and walks past you.
I wait patiently as I turn around and watch to make sure, he doesn't find the sergeant there.
Yeah, he goes and he steps into the triage center where, Ebony, you see Elias step in, and he kind of scans all of the beds with a very, very serious, very stern expression. And he gives a nod and turns around and walks back out.
She just kind of gives a nod back, and her eyes are kind of wide, like, uh-oh.
And you watch as he, Tozar, you watch as Elias steps out through the hallway, out into the courtyard.
I'd follow him.
And he kind of takes a few steps out and slowly does a rotation. And pauses as he looks over at the north gate. And he kind of has a slight smile of satisfaction as he reaches out and catches a young soldier that was, walking by the arm, wheels him around, and points to the gate and goes, "Sergeant Feralis, tell him to come to me immediately. You take his post." I feel, Commander. Turns around. He just starts running.
While he runs away and then starts going, I would turn to him and I would be like, I think it'd be good to run drills with men. Give them something that is familiar, something they know, strong. Give them something to bring them back and ground them. At hard times, I'd grab men's great weight and run. I don't know what your men, but it'd be good for them. Bring their spirits back. Give them something to fight for.
Well, I'm not inclined to disagree. The only problem is a large number of our troop, and he looks towards the building, are in there. We have just enough to maintain a steady rotation of guards at the posts. If the enemy comes, we're mostly keeping watch to make sure that we can evacuate before they get to us. We don't have the manpower to keep hold here for now. Although, and he looks into the, towards the west, towards where Major Gresnik is. If we can get some reinforcements, we'll be able to hold the fort. Just all depends on his response.
Yes.
But for now, those who aren't actively at rest or actively on guard duty should start running some form of drills.
They should. And you should probably motivate them in a little. Use their fallen comrades. Let them know for every sword that has fallen, they should pick it up and become stronger for that comrade. Fight. Become the warriors that they are. And those who cannot fight, they will fight for them.
Hairball.
He reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder. Thank you, Totar.
And since you are low on men, I would be happy to help with drills. I may not be familiar with your styles, but I have my own. Maybe even teach a thing or two. As he puts a slight smile on his face.
Kind of gives a little bit of a smirk in response. He goes, Perhaps. We shall see. But, with that, the sergeant comes down. Elias kind of pulls him aside and goes over a series of instructions of what he wants, what he's expecting the sergeant to do for him. The sergeant gathers up, some of the troops and start with, calisthenics and such, some stretching, some running to get started, and then they were going to go into martial drills. But as the morning creeps on towards midday, you notice... Actually, I would like everyone who's not going to be inside the triage center, anybody that's going to be outside at about midday lunchtime, to roll me a perception check.
I'd be the only person really not rolling this.
All right.
Yeah.
I was thinking around midday-ish
Jesus.
when Vernon would start to head back.
If it's another session of me now
Probably
rolling,
after this roll.
Sorry, what's Vernon doing about midday?
I said about midday he was probably going to head back, so probably catching the tail end of this roll.
All right.
You said perception?
Yes, sir.
Perception. Give me
I think-
the one.
I got a 1 too.
No. So I was the only one that got it. She stole your one. But no, Lucky,
Yeah, that was horrible.
as everybody's kind of milling about doing their own thing, you notice a bird, but not quite a bird. Very small bird. Come darting into the fort and is flying with great velocity and great intent of direction of travel towards the building, and is going to dart into the doorway of the triage building. But as it gets closer, you realize that it is not an actual bird.
Is that a paper bird?
With that roll, yes it is.
Oh, so it's a message. Do I know it's a message?
Roll me an Arcana. No.
That's a 9.
No, you don't know.
So I don't know it's a message. I just see some paper bird at very high velocity trying to get into the infirmary.
Like if you kind of follow it, you see, like, you catch a glimpse of it darting into the office where Field Commander Elias is posted up.
That's assuming it gets past Lucky.
A lucky.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and catch it.
Oh, all right.
I don't
guess-
know what it is. It could be something bad. So
You know what? Roll for me an initiative.
An initiative? Okay.
Just to gauge if you are faster than it, and you are
Probably not.
just a little faster than it.
Cat catch a bird.
That said, now I need an acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Not athletics. Acrobatics.
All right, so while nobody else sees the bird, you guys suddenly see Lucky, like, perk up, ears forward, whiskers kind of trembling a little bit, and his eyes are locked in on something. And his head's kind of doing that little swivel that cats do when they're visually stalking something.
Great.
And then suddenly this big, fluffy, somewhat doughy, squishy cat man springs forth, leaps into the air, and clasps both hands very firmly, well, not firmly, but securely, around something. Complete with a sweet little action roll tumble, and he lands one knee on the ground, other foot planted firm, as he's peering into his hands, his cupped hands. And inside, you see the paper bird just kind of like fidgeting around, trying to wiggle its way out of your hands.
At a closer inspection, can I realize that this thing is
You see
a
writing.
magic letter?
You see writing on its surfaces, and so you can clearly tell that it's some sort of magic thing with writing on it, on its wings, on its beak, on its head, on its body. But the way it's folded, you can't read any one word fully.
Okay. Let's go. Oh, I took nothing that was useful. Alright. Not in this situation. But do I have the feeling this thing's not going to explode on us?
For this, I'll give you another Arcana check.
I'm gonna be running over there the minute I see Lucky grab something. Not like in a rush, just out of curiosity as what did the cat grab?
You are fully confident that this thing is not going to explode.
Right, that's all I needed. Then I'll just... Dude, I saw it going to the infirmary, so I'm gonna start wandering over there. And then I'm gonna look at Viren and be like, I got a leather.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance I can coax it to let me read it?
No, not really.
Damn it, worth a try.
You just got a lead.
Paper birds are typically given a name of a recipient, and once they reach that recipient, they turn into paper. They unfold upon reaching their recipient.
Is there a window to the office where this guy is?
I mean, I guess if you want to take the long walk around to the other side of the building, but if you just walk past the triage room, his office is the very next door.
Oh, I was gonna lean in the window and be coy, but it doesn't matter. So I'll just wander into the infirmary, and I'm just gonna walk up to him and go, "Got a birdie for you."
So as you are, so you're walking into the building. The door for the triage center, like as you like turn like you were possibly going to go into there, you can feel the bird in your hand rattling around, is like almost tugging your hands past that door. And then as you walk over to the next door, which is the office that Elias is in. It's jerking and moving around in your grasp like it's trying to tug you into that office.
Hmm.
Then as you come in, you mentioned that you got his letter. He kind of looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and a full belly laugh. Just, he's like, oh, impressive.
What?
Those things are not easy to catch, especially barehanded.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't know what it was. Could have been something dangerous.
I appreciate your vigilance. And he holds out a hand. Let us see what...
I'll let it go.
And it flutters straight into his hand, and just as it reaches his hand, you watch as it just unfurls into his hand, slips into his hand as a nice, perfectly straight, flat piece of paper. Not a single crease to be found. And he holds it up and he looks at it and goes, well, that's wonderful and terrible news in the same breath.
Uh-oh.
Well, looks like I'm getting my reinforcements. But
Wow.
looks like the group, he puts down paper, the group that was sent after Hravik did not survive.
Ew.
So we don't know where the Heartstone is. Can I trouble you to bring your friends to the office for me, please?
Sure.
And as you turn, he's walking over to a map of Tel Riel that's on the wall, and he's pondering it as you depart.
Would it be common knowledge to know what the hell a Heartstone is?
Not
Out of curiosity.
really common knowledge, but if you want, you may make a history check.
Sure. I mean, it hasn't been brought up to me yet.
There was mention in the past of the Heartstone, but
I
it
can see
hasn't
if
been
I know what it
explained
is.
at length.
Nope.
No, it was not ever in any of the courses of study that you invested into.
No. Imagine it's just a pretty rock.
But as I'm going to assume that none of you resist Lucky's summons to go meet with Elias.
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna
Okay, the knockout's
slog in
assembled.
last. Just slog in last after I get armored back up.
Totar, do you go too?
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
I just wanted to make sure. All right, so after all of you have entered into his office, you see he's sitting there. He's like got a couple of pins with strings on them that he's using to kind of triangulate. He gestures. He taps on a certain quadrant on the map and turns around to see as Totar, followed by Vernon, enter in, heavy armored bastards, making every noise they can. As he nods, all right, I would much rather send my own men for this, but given... And he looks past, towards the wall, out towards the fort at large. Oh, given the status of my troop numbers, he looks to you in particular, Vernon. It's a big ask, but I need someone I can trust. Someone who's already proven reliability to try to go after this. The Erisians had invaded, and he starts gesturing on the map. When they first invaded, on top of raiding several small communities, and he looks to you, Vernon, home, claiming stronghold after stronghold, we had a temple, and he gestures over in this general direction, which is not too terribly far from where you know, Major
Resnick.
Major Gresnick's fort was. But this is we had a temple there where the Heartstone was housed. It's one of 4 powerful artifacts that had been uncovered hundreds of years ago that have been used to create a network of defense for Telriel at large. We were able to these stones helped prevent extraplanar incursions, to prevent arcane incursions. It kept almost a dome of protection over Telriel. And being down just one of the 4 stones hobbles our defenses incredibly. I don't know what their plans are for it, but we have to get it back, and I'd go with you. I'd go myself if I could, but I can't leave this fort. I can't leave these men. So, at that point, he kind of turns to you guys at large and takes a very deep, steadying breath and then drops down to one knee, bowing his head. I have to ask you, will you go in my stead?
I mean,
And
not to leave him on his knee for too long. I'm nodding and looking at everyone else to query for everyone's opinion.
What are you looking at me for? I'll follow.
Yeah, I would say Celeste would like look next to Ebony. I mean, and she would kind of like nod a little bit, like we were sent here to help.
We were,
So I
and
guess-
oh, we're both like kind of probably talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are right, and she kind of looks back at the triage and then kind of thinks outside. It might not be a bad idea for us to go, considering everything that's happened.
To not keep Elias on his knee too long, I'm gonna reach for his hand, gonna pat on his shoulder. I will go wherever you tell me.
there's a very, very warm smile in response to that as he clasps your hand in both of his. Thank you, brother. We can't delay too long. I can't. If I could afford to wait for Grasnick's reinforcements to arrive, I would do it myself. But they're not going to be here for at least another day or two, minimum. And that's a day or two too many for us to give them any further head start on whatever plans they have for the stone. And with that, he pulls out, shows you guys on the map again, gesturing to a particular region. He goes, Resnick says that the last information that he had received about the whereabouts, there's no confirmation that they went there, but there is an old temple, a more of a mausoleum, if you will, where one of the 4 stones was forged. And it's entirely possible that if the Orisians already knew of the nature of the Heartstone, they might seek to head to the birthplace of one of its siblings to use the Fount of Magic there to destroy it.
Vernon would kind of frown a bit and look over to Ebony, entirely lost.
Ebony just looks over towards Vernon. Actually, would she know? Not completely no, but like, would she have partially studied stuff about fonts of magic and destroying things?
Roll me either an Arcana or an Investigation check, your choice.
I don't think it matters for me, but let me check.
I
Yeah.
also have Arcana. Could I try?
Sure. There's no telling what each of you guys have read or not read.
It's not the most
Anytime anything magic related happens, Vernon is going to look at Ebony.
It's okay.
Well, that one was supposed to have been to DM, but hey, it's still good.
Oh, sorry. Oops.
So, each of you know that there are certain places in this world that can be attributed as having higher than normal affinity for magic. Sometimes it's just raw magic in general. Sometimes it's elementally attuned. You know that there are ley lines of etherical energy weaving its way all around the world. And where multiple lines of this etherical energy intersect in harmony with each other, you know, the same elemental lines, sometimes you will experience frequent anomalous magical effects related to that element. This could be something like that, or it could be something entirely different. But this world is teeming with magic. Magic is everywhere if you know where, how, and when to look for it.
Not expecting a grand explanation, Vernon is just going to look back to Elias.
And I will say, Nolly, with that, or Evany, with that role, you also do know that oftentimes where these founts of magic are located, it is a prime location to make magic artifacts, but it's also typically where you would take something
To be destroyed.
as long as it is the success rate of destroying powerful magical artifacts increases exponentially whenever you bring it to a fount that is diametrically opposed.
Okay.
So if you wanted to destroy an artifact of ice, you would take it to a waypoint of fire.
Interesting.
It would be a good question to know which one this is, so we know what the hell we're getting into.
That is an excellent question. Which attunement is this one? So we know where to go.
Well, unfortunately, I'm assuming that this question is actively asked, correct?
Not by me, because I don't know anything.
I would have asked it if Ebony doesn't.
I mean, Ebony's probably gonna ponder just based off location if it's gonna be something more like Earth aligned or something like that. But she will ask.
He kind of frowns slightly. He goes, unfortunately, that mausoleum, as far as I know, has not been opened in, well, longer than any of us have been alive for certain. So I don't know what kind of... If the fount of magic within is still active, I could not begin to fathom what it may be. But the only The only thing I do know is it would not be a fount of light, for the Heartstone was of light, and each one of the stones were, when they were created, were not kept near their place of birth. Because while you
Which
would
makes
think
sense.
that keeping a source of power and the object that it is empowering close together would be powerful and synergistic, it actually is the opposite for these stones. They are more powerful when kept at great distance.
But like magnetic iron. But
I unfortunately did not catch what you said.
they're like magnetic iron.
Yes. That would
Well,
not
that
be
could
incorrect.
smart, too. It's just a silence afterwards. That could be smart too.
A clock could be right twice. A broken clock could be right twice a day.
And our town's fool can sometimes not be funny. But if it is true, it means this thing should be away from its source. So you said this was light, yes?
Yes, the Heartstone is light.
So we are either looking for the Temple of Darkness or we are going for this one, hoping it's because it's the closest.
Well, I don't know if it's a Temple of Darkness there or not, but it is the closest one to it, so.
Makes sense.
Probably gonna have to find out when we get there, unfortunately.
Chances are our opposition doesn't know either.
Well, no one's been in there for centuries, which... If it's true, nobody knows. If it is not true, then somebody.
If somebody does know, that the percentage of knowing somebody that does know is very, very tiny.
Very tiny, but not impossible.
Correct. Small possibility, but a non-zero chance of possibility.
Nothing is impossible. Unlikely, unreasonable, but never impossible. I find this world likes to surprise people. So, I, for one, am willing to go into this Temple of Darkness just to see what is in there.
Supposed Temple of Darkness.
I suppose. But knowing our luck, well, it's definitely Temple of Darkness.
I mean, maybe we just need to turn the light on in the Temple of Darkness.
In the light.
Just look at the last, like,
Oh, I love it.
Then I look at Lucky and I go, see, the fool can't be funny.
Ah,
he just has that like incredulous like mouth
Touche.
open like I can't believe you just said that, but you know what, I'm not gonna say anything.
reach some back doors. Hi, hi, hi.
Anyway,
I'm not sorry.
No, that was beautiful.
That was painful. I love it. So, as you guys are discussing these details, Elias kind of looks at you and kind of strokes his chin for a moment. He goes, "You should probably take, well, most of your companions would probably be best served staying here for a while to finish recovery, and if they're willing to help, I can put them to work helping out here, but definitely you might wish to take one or two of your companions with you.
Vernon is gonna just like pretty quickly look over to Lucky. Your brother is probably not an option.
Yeah, I was thinking that he's rather indisposed at this moment. Even though if there were straps in there, he would be perfect for it. But I'm not going to force him out of bed if necessary.
I'm also about to say Pepper's kind of like a wing down. Bethany would feel terrible bringing her.
But is it really safer here?
That is true.
On the upside, Elias is going to still be here, so I mean, depends on how high a stock you put into his capabilities.
I don't know much about his capabilities.
I mean, apparently he's done well enough to be a field commander.
And pop that one portal with his, or pop that one bubble with his sword.
Bubble?
The one that we got trapped?
Yeah, the one that we got trapped in with the rock elemental.
Yeah, he just straight up poked it.
Look, I had to make sure because I'm like,
unless it was already going to go down.
No. He did. It was going to go down much later.
Okay.
Oh, the Wizard of I see him again.
But so that said, on an above game level, you guys may discuss amongst yourselves and pick two of your companions to bring with you. To go over a list of injuries, as we have already established, Tullig has broken his everything. Not literally, but he's got enough damage that he's basically operating with disadvantage on everything. And half movement speed, at least.
yeah, I wouldn't even suggest bringing him.
Cal has several broken ribs and a cracked jaw.
Oh no, his pretty face. Whatever shall we do?
Be jelly. Let's see. And as we already established, Pepper's got wing damage. That leaves Ellen. Sorry. That leaves. Train of thought. Ellen, Severos, and Beast as viable options, because three of them are all either fully or really close to being completely uninjured.
I was kind of figuring Beast might tag along regardless, because that's how it's been
I mean, so far, but I mean,
so far.
When he fought for traps, sure, we bring him.
Not a constant.
If Totar straight up told Beast to remain, Beast would do as he was told.
Gotcha.
He would have grumbled, whined, and then huffed, but...
Oh, see, then we would have to bring him along. We can't make the puppy sad.
Sure we can.
So
He does what he's told.
What do we know about Severos?
Severus is a mage, or wizard, right?
I thought
They're
he
all the
was.
same.
He is a mage.
Yes. Yeah.
Mechanically speaking, he's basically a arcane... He and Elwyn share a class, just one's arcane, one's divine.
No, they're both clerics?
No, they're both NPC classes. Which means they're not as good as clerics or wizards.
Yeah.
He also has a lack of proficiency in his spine. I've noticed.
What? When you're a tiny little guy who could be smushed by anybody's boot, that's kind of understandable.
I really hope he's not
for
in your show.
anybody. I learned that a long time ago.
Look, he's a handy little guy. He is resourceful.
He's
he's
also
just little-
small.
Yeah, and he's small.
He can fit
I
into
never
places.
said. I never said anything bad about these things. I just said he lacks proficiency in his spine. He is cowardly, which is good.
I will say, Elwyn is pretty useful. He knows some basic healing spells and bless.
Yeah.
Although our party doesn't seem to be particularly lacking in healing.
I was gonna say I also have bless and healing.
So that is kind of a thing that we already have covered, I guess.
I'm sorry, I can't heal with it, damn.
Also, with everything going on here, it might not be a bad idea to still have Elwyn to help heal.
Yeah. He'll tag along eventually.
Oh yeah, especially once the fatigue mechanic starts coming into play.
Yes.
The what?
Above game, it's to help promote you guys using different sidekicks on the regular rather than just cycling only one or two every time.
That
Af-
way, even if
every
Beast is whining.
if you take them, you can take any sidekick on 2 missions in a row before they start taking exhaustion levels.
Does this last
Okay.
mission count?
Yes, that was
Okay.
1 mission.
So we have the option to take Beast and then cycle him out, but
Yep.
because we already kind of want Elwyn to stay because they probably need him a bit.
They
That's
have
what I would think.
they have a
Because we're
couple of
covered.
other healing NPCs here at the fort, but there's like I think 2 of them.
Sure.
Yeah, now that's making me feel a little bit more like, yeah, maybe you should stay.
Yeah.
At least that's my
So,
first.
so do we want to do Beast and Severos? Because we're definitely not doing
Well,
Tolig.
but if you think about it, he did state earlier that there is practically no casters here. If we leave and we take like Severos with us, there is practically no casters here.
Who needs it?
So what if we just take Beast?
So
We
again,
want to probably
you can take
2.
up to 2 of your companions.
Yeah, so we don't even have to take Beast as well. It could be just our party.
Yeah, that is also an option.
But the characters. We want exposition.
I mean, I want Beast personally, but
I
that's
pers-
the above game.
I personally would rather have the fort available for us to come back to.
That is very
What does
true.
that mean?
Yep.
Oh, by having it
in-
not get taken?
Yes.
He's
Mhm.
right. He's right.
You know, it's kind of hard to protect the place when you have like practically
No.
minimal soldiers, and we're taking away
Yeah.
not only tough combatants, but we're taking away a source of healing as well.
That's true.
Like, not to be Debbie Downer here, but like
They didn't
I'd
survive
rather,
very-
yeah, they'll need as much as they can get to survive. Us, on the other
Yeah.
hand, we can be very cautious if need be in this place, you know.
And we can run away.
But yeah, exactly. We can, back off if we need to. These guys are stuck here.
Yeah.
And this is coming from me, not the Tabaxi. For Christ's sake, he doesn't give a fuck.
Dude. In game, Vernon is gonna look to Elias. Why do we even want to keep this place?
Elias kind of gives a wry smile as he goes, "Well, the reasons are varied and many. On a personal note, it is about as most effective of a middle finger I can give the Arisians, because they are desperate to keep it themselves as a foothold into our territory. Also," and he looks slightly towards the north and east, towards the wall, which is signifying home. And also, the upper brass wants us to make sure that we keep it from them as much as we can. Because from here we can, if we can get enough forces concentrated here, we can start a counter push.
So I gotta see the question. This fort is the only fort that's in the way of them getting through the mountains, yes?
It's one of many, but... And he turns back once more to the map.
So this
But-
is strategic in the fact of this is one of the easier routes through the mountains, yes?
Yes, because right here, through the mountains, is one of the most accessible pathways that the Eurysians have to enter into Telriel.
So why don't you block off the way?
The problem is currently they have the way in their possession. They've just been trying to keep this fort to use it as a staging post to move in the next wave of their invasion force.
Ah, I see. So we need to keep this to stop them invading, basically.
For the most part, it puts a stranglehold on their invasion efforts.
But at the same time, since there's not enough people here yet, you don't want to push back into the paths because essentially they have the quote-unquote high ground.
Essentially,
Also means
yes.
We can't also means that we cannot scupper the place, which is kind of... Because you could use a little tactic, poison the wells, let them move in, and let them all kill themselves.
Elias just kind of winces at the idea of poisoning the well.
Yes, it's a very drastic thing, but I'll stop them being here.
Yes, but you also stop anybody else from ever being able to go there again for a long time. Nature
For a
takes
long-
time to heal itself.
Oh yeah, yes, I know this. I'm just saying, you know, there's options to nullify a fort.
That's
By the
one
looks
that
of it,
that is an option that I am very loath to entertain.
Oh, that's the last ditch effort, don't you worry. 2015. But, anyway, we've got to go see this temple. We can think about how we can stop them invading from this place anyway. Unless someone has a dragon in their back pocket.
Look over to Sil.
You guys hear a sneeze in another room.
You think he'd fit in my pocket?
I don't think Severus wants to be in anyone's pockets.
Well, I don't know. He might find it comfy.
Just speaking from experience, he's a little grumpy. One time I accidentally took a tool out of his toolbox once. I swear, I meant to return it. And then, I don't know, it got misplaced somewhere, and oh my god, he wouldn't talk to me for like a week.
Oh, that's quite short for him.
Ha!
In the distance,
Gives you this-
say in the distance, you guys hear, I know you guys are talking about me and I don't fucking appreciate it.
I'm sorry about the wrench I stole!
I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna yell back, "We're talking about you, not to you," and close the door. I'm just gonna like maybe go like, no. Some people are so uptight.
I am going to have to buy him coffee. When we get back to Worldport, I am going to have to find the best coffee. And she puts like a hand over her face, like trying to remember, remember which cafe he liked the most.
You feed that thing coffee?
I mean, isn't there that one good cafe in the midtown of Worldport?
They have
Like,
really great
it was
biscotti.
that one.
Oh, I would give
Oh.
up anything to go there real quick.
That reminds me, I need to go visit my sister.
How many siblings do you have?
I have many siblings.
Lucky.
And yes,
Fancy
she is
pants.
also not at the vaccine.
So, as we prepare as a group to depart, have we come to an official determination
I think we probably only want to take one person with us.
or marching order? Who is going?
I think.
I am voting leave them all here.
Yeah, I'm honestly okay with that.
All of them?
All of them?
All
Sorry.
of them. All of them.
I mean,
No.
I get it.
No, that's
It's
just
valid.
That's just my point. You know, you guys can talk it out yourselves. Then I'm not gonna argue either way. But I've just put it forward that
Yeah.
we'd rather have this place secure. So when we come back, we can actually come back to our companions instead of having them being captured or slaughtered or whatever.
And then
Yeah.
hopefully by the time we get back,
But
maybe
also,
they might have.
also consider the fact that this Heartstone might be more important than this entire camp. And that we can't afford to not get it.
True, but we're bringing us.
We're not infallible.
We're
The
not-
last fights that we did without Beast would have been a lot tougher.
A lot tougher, yes, but at the same time, we are like out of character here. We're player characters with player classes. We're stronger than our NPC brethren here, who are half classes.
Yes, absolutely correct on that. And the only reason why Beast was doing work was because the dice loved him.
Gotcha.
That fucker did
Nice.
not roll less than a 19 on the die like the entire. No, I think he rolled an 18 once. He was critting left, right, and center.
Gotcha.
So
Also,
it's not
Yeah.
the fact that I don't want them here. It's the fact of I'd rather, like, my personal point is, if they can keep this fort safe, we have something to come back to. Even
Yeah.
if we get the Hearthstone or not, which is more likely we're going to, because it seems to be a plot item, key quest item. Can't drop that thing after you pick it up. And a new hand has touched the beacon. Now!
I will say, I don't know if you're done. What you finish?
No. Go on.
The argument that if we take, hell, what's his name again? Severos. If we take Severos, that there won't be any mages here. Cal is still here.
That is a very valid counterpoint.
True. But
Like, let's go over the numbers of how many people are available that we could choose between. You got Beast, Cal, Tolig doesn't really count, but I'm still gonna say his name.
Also, Cal didn't really count between the broken ribs and jaw.
yeah, he's got like broken ribs and shit. He's practically out of the fight unless he absolutely needs to.
Well, but I'm still going over the numbers of like how many people we got.
Technically, 6 options.
There you go.
10.
So we'd be leaving 6 extra characters here.
In a fort which is barely maintaining a guard position
Yeah.
Yeah, they,
against
that's fair.
a potential invasion.
they've
Yeah.
got 14 able bodies, not counting your companions, and not counting Elias. 14
Yeah.
guys in rotation for guard duty, while the rest of the troop are recovering.
I'm just going over the numbers. I am perfectly fine with leaving the whole group behind.
No. This is why we go over the numbers. This is
Yeah.
good. This is how we make a group dynamic. It's the fact of that's just my 2 cents. That the more we can defend the fort, the more we can come back to.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because there's a chance they might be able to get, hopefully by the time we get back, some kind of reinforcement.
Yeah.
Even if not,
Basically, I will.
I'm pretty sure. Sorry, Elias stated that reinforcements were on the way.
Yes, within the next
Yes,
day or two.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
but they might be attacked before that day or two.
Yeah,
if,
and
if we get a gauge on how much that reinforcements might be, then it might not even entirely be necessary to leave anyone behind. Because
Well,
if they're sending like 50 people, then it's like,
Well, the thing is it's also a solid 24 to 48 hours or more before that 50 people get here.
yeah,
And basically,
Also
on
the
a
fact-
on a numbers level, I do have plans to do a dice roll to see if a random incursion happens while you guys are gone, and the DC for success is going to be affected by the number of available bodies, as it were, to repel said encounter.
yeah.
Not there, right? And the thing is, if this fort is as contested as they say it is, another
We
counterpoint
wouldn't be
here.
able to get it back.
We wouldn't be able to get it back, not without any kind of really hard decisions. And I mean, like,
Yeah.
wading in and killing every motherfucker we come across.
Yeah.
And-
In the interest of preventing further bloodshed, I think with leaving people behind.
So it sounds like we got
Also-
a majority vote to leave
Yep.
the companions here.
Yes.
Mhm. I trust them to defend this fort until reinforcements arrive.
Yes.
And they've got a fuck ton of lasagna fueling them. They're practically invincible, so it's fun.
Yeah. They've got the God's elixir.
They got the
They got-
Italian buff.
God, I wish
They've
Italy
got-
was real.
They've got lasagna gumbo in a pot. It's fine.
I was
So-
about to say that Italian buff is just I'm looking at the enemy, all the hand gestures.
Italian buff.
I'm so mad. I kind of want to start taking away inspirations now.
I've already used all mine.
All right. Well, no. Everybody except for Offler got a bonus inspiration from Samo. Offler got a Bane.
Of course, I
Thank
got
you,
fucking paid.
Wait, did I get a bonus inspiration?
Yeah, you got a
Yes.
bonus inspiration from Samo. Samo redeemed channel points to give everybody except for Lucky Quilt an inspiration.
God damn
You
it!
know what?
Sam.
I'm gonna focus on the good part there. The good part being that everybody else got one.
So, on that note,
So,
as you guys say goodbye to your companions as you prepare to head out, the road to where you are going is a relatively unpleasant one because of the cold and the urgency at which you guys are traveling.
I will say, like, before everybody has left, I mean, after everybody has left, I had something I wanted to say to Elias or ask him about. But I was gonna wait for everyone to shuffle out of the room first.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that real quick.
All right, guys, let's leave them to their bromance.
No.
We're gonna have our ears pressed up to the door, though, right?
Correct.
I'm writing a new smut book.
Okay.
Oh no!
Anyways,
Sorry.
Anyways, so
Let's make our fan
Yeah.
fiction.
I am gonna. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna convey the information that the Shrine of Palor has been defiled, and after that, I'm gonna lean in and ask. After all is said and done, we are burning this place down, right?
he kind of looks to you, looks kind of towards the north. He goes, "The gods willing? Yes."
Good man. Alright. And with that, I'm leaving. But yeah, I wanted him to know about the defiling, just in case anybody had to go and try and pray there or seek some kind of refuge, because that shit is cursed. With bad juju,
For now.
for now. Until I blow it up.
Like a windmill.
Yes.
Jesus.
It needs
So, on that note, as you guys are traveling, after saying your goodbyes to your companions, I am going to ask for one Mr. Totar to roll a d20 for me
What did I do? I didn't do nothing.
and do it publicly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cool. We will
Think I know
discuss
what this is.
the outcome of that d20 after we take a short bathroom break. Because
Oh fuck.
the DM really needs to go potty.
You know, if
Okay,
I could roll
okay.
anything above a 6 game, I would be happy.
I'm not.
All right, so let's take a tenor, and I will
Yeah.
see you guys back at 5 after the hour.
I'm not going to say
Or
what it
sooner.
is,
Okay.
but I think I know what that D20 is for.
Yeah, the Ford's fucked. Worth a try.
Or we're fucked.
What?
No.
What?
Maybe it's the amount of windmills we'll find along the way.
Oh yeah.
I should. Oh wait, hold on. Do I have
Don't
fire
worry,
spells?
Ebony has produced flames. She'll blow them up this time.
Perfection. That's the spirit.
Also, I have a thing that, like, potentially, depending, not now, but I do have ideas.
Did they hurt?
It's a matter of Ebony trying to use one spell and then not realizing that she doesn't know this spell and shenanigans.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick while we're doing this bathroom break. How fitting.
Wow, how convenient.
How convenient.
Sponsored by Grumpy Cookies.
Sponsored by Grumpy Cookies.
Yep.
If
Now
you
go
want to
feed-
eat cookies, they don't have cookies, but they have clothes, so you should eat clothes.
Oh, please
don't eat
don't
clothes. I mean, unless
If
you
you-
want.
If you had to eat clothes, these would be the clothes that you should eat.
I mean, if you have too much thread in your bowel, you might end up having poop anal beads.
I'm
Just
legally
saying.
obliged to say what she just said is wrong. Alright, I'm gonna be right back.
Oh my god.
You say I'm wrong, but you have not had to pull stuff out of a dog's butt because of thread.
Yeah.
And trust me, I feel so bad when it happens. And then I have to just tell her it's your fault for eating it. Also, look at our cute little waiting screen.
I love the new screen.
I'm walking with horse.
I mean,
Which
it
we
kind
don't- Which we don't have a horse in character.
No, we don't. It also vaguely reminds me of the Oregon Trail.
So you're saying this man may die of dysentery?
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. Look,
All right, guys.
I'm
Doesn't
sorry.
Run out of food. Doesn't have a wheel fall off the wagon. No, dysentery.
Maybe all of it will happen, and then the dysentery starts.
I mean, possible. It is possible. I will say, every time I played that game, I never made it to the end of the trail.
I didn't play the OG one. I played a mobile version though, like when the iTouch was a thing. And that one was fun.
Back in my day, I think actually, what year did Oregon Trail come out?
I feel like I had a teacher in elementary school that had the OG version though. Like she had one of
The-
the old school computers where everything had to be loaded
The-
into floppy drives.
So the initial release date of the Oregon Trail was 1971.
The bathroom has been broken.
It's okay, we're talking about dysentery.
That's a rather shit subject, yes.
And now I'm working on making an NPC for you guys to meet named Terry.
Oh,
Are we going to diss him?
I haven't had dysentery in a while.
So we're dysentery?
You might.
That was bad.
That was delightfully terrible.
And if you do, it'll
I'm
be
so
your
proud.
funeral.
It'll be your
Damn.
funeral, yes?
Gonna be a big Terry? Big boy Terry?
Yeah. Oregon Trail is older than all of us.
They call him Terry because he tears people in half.
Oh, yeah. See, I walk away setting up a fucking Grumpy Cookies thing, and I hear as I'm walking to the bathroom about eating shirts,
Yes!
shitting out string.
Yes.
They're,
So,
they're
I tried.
very, very yummy shirts. Trust me, I've eaten several.
So if our sponsor is listening, I try.
I'm
Also,
just trying to let them know they can tap into the food market. They wouldn't even have to change their product.
People are not moths.
I mean,
Yeah.
being a moth
Yeah.
would be cool.
I like
Not
moths.
really.
Moths don't. Wait, moths do have mouths. Where are their mouths?
That's like a proboscis.
Mm-mm.
Biscuit.
That's butterflies. Moths have mandibles.
They do have mouths. You see, I was always kind of melancholy about moths because I was like, oh, they're cute, but once they turn into moths, they just starve to death.
Actually, some moths have a proboscis. Some moths have mandibles.
By and large, which one do they have more often?
I have not seen that part yet.
Because I just thought they had no mouths.
Oh, but like I said, that's because the. Okay, no, it's just overall. It's just straight up. Most of them seem to have a proboscis,
Biscuit.
which is like a weird,
Proboscis.
a straw appendage that's used for
I was like,
sucking
so
up
they're
things.
like a bee.
Butterflies. They're like their cousins, butterflies. But yeah.
Like bees. But they eat shirts.
Well, no, it's not.
And then they
actually-
turn the shirts into shirt honey.
Fuck. What?
Which is
then
what
this whole
they use to
time-
put the great, the great details on new shirts.
Correct.
I was about to say, them eating shirt just leads back to them just having moth poop. It's all back to poop.
Yeah, no, the
fuck.
accusation that moths are eating shirts is more from the
The fact that they
larvae.
eat shirts.
No, the moths are not eating shirts because they have straws. It's the larvae.
I'm pretty sure I can eat a shirt with a straw.
Jesus
know what?
Christ.
When I see you,
Is
when
that
I
even better than
see
a
you-
moth?
when I see you on Wednesday, I am going to give you a straw, and we're going to film you eating a fucking shirt.
Yeah, you're goddamn right you will.
I will post it on my YouTube. I promise you.
You have no idea how strong my lungs are. I've got lungs for two.
So,
That means I got two
I-
lungs.
are you saying you suck?
Yes.
Uwu.
I was gonna say, I feel like I can't say anything here because that's just gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
Suck the whole
Incriminating
thing
yourself.
off.
Yeah.
They look down and there's nothing left. Where did it go?
What are those? All right, will be starting back up in about 2 minutes. I don't
I
unless
also
unless
saw
Hammer's
Onward
back
level.
already.
Which is a lot easier to eat through a straw.
Right, Hammer is not back yet.
This
Oh,
is when
Hammer's here.
Grimes-
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Are you guys
He doesn't
ready
talk
to
a lot.
continue?
Party?
We like to party.
Party.
We like
Party. We like to
PRTY?
party.
Got it.
All right. So, anyways,
Purple unicorn.
as we
Oh, sorry.
continue on,
Straight down.
as you guys are traveling across
Also sorry.
the expanse, heading towards the location, general area of the temple.
Don't forget to
I
put the
had-
note back on.
Oh, yep, you are absolutely correct. Thank you. Right here. So, as we are traveling, I need. Let's see. Who haven't I picked on yet to roll something? Ebony, roll me a D100.
Oh fuck. Do you want to publicly?
Yes,
He's too
publicly.
bad.
Oh no.
That's a big number.
That's either really good or really bad.
That's chunky.
Dysentery time.
All right, so basically, Totar was rolling to see if you guys were having a combat encounter or not,
Uh-oh.
and Ebony was rolling for what exactly the potential encounter, combat or not, was actually going to be. So as you guys are traveling along, making your way along the winding road through the foothills, you notice something in the distance, in the middle of the road.
It's a windmill. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's very small. It's very small. Like the only reason why you guys really notice it as far in advance as you do is because it's small. It's on the ground and it's wiggling. You hear very faintly in the distance, "Help! Someone help! Help!" I don't know if the microphone picked that up or not, but
No, it did.
I did.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Really well.
so what are you guys gonna do?
So this is a trap.
Highwayman?
Go ahead and roll me perceptions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
yeah.
roll perception.
I almost accidentally opened it.
Like I was about to say, we're gonna do a group perception, but we are on track for a really good group perception. Still doing good.
It would be better if I didn't.
You gotta roll it.
I did.
Damn.
And it was
Damn.
good.
Damn. Where's
Scrump doodly umptious.
let me bust out my calculator here, all right? So, typically for me, just because in my games, nat 20s only count as auto successes on attack rolls and death saves. Outside of that, a nat 20, because I like to reward it, but I don't like giving it auto success, I give it a +5. So that in mind, somebody rolled a nat 20. So that's
Yay.
+5 on theirs.
Wasn't me.
And divide that by 5 people. You guys have an average rolling down to the next whole number of a 19 perception check.
Oh yeah.
Party-wide perception
Ooh.
check. Really good numbers. So, that said, you don't notice anybody lurking in the brush because mostly there isn't really brush. There's a couple of sparse trees here and there in the distance, but it's winter. It's the very early onset of winter, so not a lot of leaves. Nowhere for someone to hide in the boughs of the tree. You don't see anybody other than somebody buried up to their neck in the middle of the road.
Oh,
The ground around him is undisturbed.
Hmm.
I'm going to ask real quick. Do you have a battle map for this?
No.
Okay, no.
Stephanie just kind of looks a little bit at Lucky because the ground not being disturbed around this
he's also facing
almost
away from
just
you
like-
guys, and he's like, I hear somebody back there. I don't have much. Help. Please.
I'm just gonna give the everyday look of. I don't like it as much as you do. I think trap.
That or
But I'm being-
that or this person's a little bit like you and summons lasagna out of nowhere.
Or in this case, potentially
All right.
summoned a hole for them to manifest in.
I'm assuming the wagon is stopped.
Yeah, well, I mean, did you guys stop?
As we
No,
approach.
we ran them over. Of course we stopped.
I'm hopping out.
All right.
If anybody's walking into a trap, it's me. And if
Alright.
we leave him there, he'll die of frostbite.
I'll jump off as well, but I'll stay within 60.
All right.
I'll get off as well, but I'll stay behind.
I'll stand right next to him walking.
All right. So we got Beefcakes walking up.
I cast mage armor.
Okay.
Oh.
Roll it.
Because I have to every time. You want to blow myself up? No, I'm fine.
Okay. So
If you just get sure.
toggle it up, and as you guys approach, what he's like angling his neck, craning it as hard as he can to look kind of behind him. Please, I it's so terribly uncomfortable down here.
I'm gonna look to the squad. Does anyone have a shovel?
One moment.
It wouldn't be unreasonable for there to be a shovel in the wagon.
I mean, we have been doing a lot of stuff with dead bodies lately.
Vernon would squat down and check his face to make sure he wasn't suffering from any extreme frostbite.
So you reach, so you're reaching down to touch him.
Yes.
Okay, as you reach out to touch him, his whole head pops out of the ground, just his head, and crawls away on spider legs.
What the?
I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
I fucking use a trap.
Did you say everybody make wisdom saving
Yes.
throw?
I am not rerolling that.
That's funny. So the DC was a 14,
Ooh.
Okay.
and everyone takes 3 points of psychic damage as you guys are reeling, trying to process what the fuck just happened. If you go in pursuit of the spider head, you can't find him. It's gone. The moment it breaks line of sight, it's almost like it never existed to begin with.
I fucking told you.
It just
The fuck?
okay.
Well, that was unique.
Unique. Unique.
Mm-hmm. She's like, when Celeste says that, she's saying that with like a completely distant stare. Like she is not looking at anything in particular. Like she is just zoned out a little bit.
All right, so the rest of your trip for the remainder of this day is extremely uneventful. Mostly
Does
because
this trip count as a long rest?
when you guys will be setting up camp, because you will need to take a long rest because it's too far for you to have made it all the way there in the same day without pushing yourselves farther than you needed to. So,
And the entire trip, you just see Totar just blankly staring forward all the time.
as he's like, spider head?
The
Spider
entire-
head?
that's-
What
that's
the fuck
exactly
is a
what he
spider
said.
head? Spider head, what the fuck is a spider head?
By the head. That's it. All along the trees.
Okay.
Stars, it's a spider.
I hate you both.
Here comes the spider.
May the seagulls swarm you when you go outside.
I'm gonna actually have Lucky write that down as a song. For shits and giggles. Just so I can confuse myself later on down the line when I'm looking at my inventory going, what the fuck is the Spiderhead song? This place is weird. Why am I kind of feeling that's just the first of weird shit that's going to happen? And this is coming from me.
Right. You're probably right.
All right. So, as you guys settle down for the night for the long rest, I need you guys to tell me who's keeping watch, what kind of rotation are we doing, etc., etc.
I'll let you take middle of the night because I've got dark vision. I'm not too sure about everyone else.
The
Game, I'm pretty sure everyone but one person has dark vision.
I grab our
what's
shield
me?
boy, pick him up, drag him to his tent, put him in it, go to sleep as I take the.
Oh, you
Wait, what
put
did you say?
you put Vernon in his tent?
Yes, because
Yeah.
remember he missed sleep.
I was gonna say the first opportunity I'm gonna collapse. If you wanted to drag me or pick me up, no.
It wouldn't be
Or
more
make-
like a pickup. I just grab you by the scruff of your armor and start dragging you across the ground. And anybody asks us, yes, he didn't sleep, Spiderhead.
Like, on them.
Ebony would
Go
just
them.
look at Lucky and be like, "So is tent up. So is tent up."
I kind of look like a kid that's being put in
As you wish.
timeout, but just kind of accepts it.
I literally saw his tent up.
So to shut. Good luck. All right.
Vernon's arms are crossed a little bit as he gets dragged.
Note to self: learn arcane lock so I can stitch up doors.
Oh my god.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
We're gonna put our teammates in fucking timeouts?
Oh my
Damn
god!
fucking right we are.
We are
Can you make-
basically children with the, weapon. It needs to be done.
Can Lucky make us a straitjacket?
He probably could. But anyway, so all right. So who,
I don't have fabric.
as you guys settle in for the night, who's taking first watch?
Totar.
Okay,
Is
second
anyone
watch.
joining Totar? Do you want to break it up into 4 separate watches for the dark vision peoples?
Yeah.
All right. So, first watch for Totar. Sir, I would like for you to roll for me Constitution saving throw as we are gauging how attentive, how focused you are going to be this night. Okay, you are diligent. You are diligent as hell. I would like for you to roll a 1d20 for me, please. Privately.
Catch!
Okay. Cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. All right. I'm going to. Damn. Okay, so I was not anticipating that. Where the hell is it? You know what? Do a public roll of a D100 for me, please, Mr. Totar.
Why do you torture Totar?
You're the one that rolled the dice, okay?
Hey, we all know my dice rolls.
Just happy it's not me this time around.
You just had to roll 2 higher.
Usually that's all I have to do.
So, so my gas has been flabbered.
They make medication for that.
I thought that was something you get at the whorehouse.
I don't know which ones you're visiting, but you're going down to the wrong establishment. Stay away from the pier.
You flabber
You think
all
I need the
over
whore?
freaky
You
stuff.
think I need the whorehouse?
Okay, so
Pasha.
my friends,
Oh no.
I need for you guys to figure out exactly where, in relation to this campfire, you guys would be located at.
Oh, God.
Also, I need.
Considering we'd probably be in tents around the campfire, so probably
Yeah.
quite close to it.
Drawing a little tiny tent.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Let's-
Okay. Glad I'm figuring this stuff out. There we go. Okay.
And Lucky gets a cute little tent.
I
I
did
did-
myself.
I did not have it set for the audience to be able to see exactly what your characters are able to see with the dynamic lighting. So when I
The
turned on the
battle map changes. Sorry.
um,
Hmm?
y- all right, have you dropped yourself yet? No, you have not. So
The battle map is pitch black for me.
that's because dynamic lighting.
Oh fuck.
You, my dear friend,
I can.
have very,
Oh.
very low light vision. And
Uh,
by low light vision,
Correct.
it means you basically have none.
Where's the fire?
Oh, you didn't start
Ah.
the fire.
You get a pink tent.
I like the pink tent.
Note to self: I'll make us custom tents. Why not?
So
What
I like
color
this
does
doll.
Totar?
I
What-
want
what-
my tent to be a square. Actually, no. I want it to be a circle.
So yes, you unfortunately cannot see hardly anything, but you hear.
I mean, my vision expanded because of the fire. I don't know if that was intentional.
It is intentional because that is as far as the fire gives light out.
Gotcha.
There's Totar's tent.
So
Oh, I like the purple.
I like that me and Josie made.
What did you say?
We made
So-
tents for everybody.
so
Yay!
Totar, you notice something, and it will give you just enough time to call out to your friends as. 1 second, where is it? As you hear buzzing, the sound of rapidly flapping wings approaching from all directions, Totar.
Oh
what do you do as we prepare for initiatives?
Totar rises up, grabs the nearest pane, starts banging against his hammer. Worked up! Incoming!
And with that, I need everybody to roll initiatives.
Oh no.
Yay!
Oh god.
And you know
roll.
what? Just because I don't feel like having each of them have their own individual initiatives, disregard the one that's all the way in the top left corner. That is my initiative token for these
I
bastards.
was gonna say Ebony was like probably had one of her fairies out. I'm just gonna pick one. She kind of just sleeps with one of them.
Like a
The
teddy bear.
Ebony's
Yeah, that's-
initiative.
I'm trying. Rick, paddywhack. I'm just doing that really quick.
All right, so okay, so technically speaking, it's going to be surprise round for the four of you as you guys are getting woken up, but at least you guys are getting up. The downside is Celeste and Vernon are both not wearing armor
Oof.
because, well, you guys were asleep. So that would mean, technically speaking, if you were to go to your sheet and scroll down to
Yep.
the items, you can click the check box next to your armor, that will make it no
Yeah.
longer be equipped. And your armor class
Yep.
will take a tanking.
Time for an AC of 0.
My AC is 9.
Where's
This
the
is-
armor?
I already
This is
checked it off
terrifying.
on your
Oh.
sheet.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's right.
This is terrifying.
Yeah.
Better armor than you do because of mage armor.
All right. So
My AC is 11.
that said, Lucky is no longer surprised. Celeste is no longer surprised. Ebony is no longer surprised. And poor Totar is going to get jumped, really, really, really horribly.
But at least he's not surprised.
No, thankfully it isn't. Totar does a 16 hit.
16 hits.
Damn. All right, so you take 4 points of piercing damage as this little insect comes flying up and burrows its needly proboscis into you, and it latches onto you.
Oh.
As it is now technically in your space.
I can still attack it.
You can.
Okay.
This
I'm
next
now
one.
attached.
Is going to attack. Yeah, that's going to hit. At least it wasn't a crit. And
Yes.
that is another 4 points of piercing damage. As it too attaches.
You know, the fact that I can't see these things and it's just like it's attaching, it's like, oh.
This one's going to come zooming up. That's a crit. For a grand total of 7 points of piercing damage. This one's going to come zooming around.
No.
That's an 18.
That hits.
Jesus.
That's 6 more points of piercing damage.
Stop
So it's
being
dick?
a bully.
Yes.
Why are you being a bully?
Aha. Do I get an
well,
opportunity attack?
you're still in your tent.
Damn it.
God bless it! That's another crit. It's 8 points of piercing damage.
How much?
8. As you currently have 5 of these little bloodsuckers latched onto you.
Well, that's unpleasant.
I will say that somebody can just straight up detach it from you as an action on their turn. That said, that is it for their turns. Totar, it's your turn.
Well, I have a bunch of things attached to me. I'm going to start stabbing them.
How many things do you have attached to you?
5.
5.
5.
So, let's go for the first stab. Let's see how my dice love me today.
That'll hit. I'll say, considering what you're doing, it's probably not so much that you're stabbing or slashing. You're just kind of like whacking at them.
Yeah.
With like the haft of it. And with that, one of the little bastards pops.
As Toltar smiles as great weapon mastery kicks in as he slashes at another one.
Nice. If I remember correctly, great weapon mastery lets you do a second attack as a bonus action, right?
As a bonus action, as long as I have killed or crit.
Okay, so that hits. And you pop a second one. You now have 3 still attached.
I'm curious about something before I do it.
Oh, sorry.
What's up?
I had gotten ahead of myself and then accidentally skipped to the next turn, but is there anything else you wish to do?
As he lets out a mighty roar,
That's what I was
he
figuring.
slashes again.
All right. That'll hit. And a third one pops. And now that is the end of your turn, unless you wish to run around with 2 of these guys still buried into your flesh.
You could come closer to me.
Well, unfortunately, you are still technically surprised, so
Oh, I don't get
That
nervous.
is fire, correct?
it is.
Oh. I see where you're going.
Totar, realizing there's still some on him, is probably gonna have to do the greatest thing. No, he's not gonna do that. I thought about it.
Because, I mean, it would deal damage to you.
It would deal damage to me, but these things don't seem to have a lot to them. You know what? Totar runs to the fire. Fuck it.
Oh my.
All right, so as you... It's not like a full-on rolling bonfire. It's kind of mostly coals and smolders and a little bit of flames here and there because, you don't want it to be too bright to signal your presence all across the plains. But you did
Yes.
want enough light to be able to be comfortable. So you would have to, kind of roll through it if you're hoping to get them with the fire.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slam against the ground and roll
Okay, so
across it
roll me
until
a
I get towards it.
dexterity saving throw.
I ain't going to do good on that one. I already know that.
All right. And let's see. Okay. Because this is mechanics that I'm trying to figure out on the fly. All right, so
I'm sorry.
oh no, this is fun. Okay, so
On the fly. Get it?
Yeah, yeah. Lois.
You're all grounded.
all right, so
You're on fire.
unfortunately, because of the way that you kind of rolled and wiggled, like they were able to kind of pivot around enough to where they managed to escape getting burned.
Okay.
Unfortunately for you, you take 4 points of fire damage. Those two little bastards are still stuck to you.
Yep. And that's it for me now.
God.
I've used everything I'm able to do.
Vernon is no longer surprised. Lucky, you hear a lot of flapping, a lot of buzzing, a lot of puncturing sounds of sharp things going into flesh, grunts and groans of pains from Totar, followed by the most likely wails of pain as he sets himself on fire, rolling through the fire pit.
Yep.
You come out confused. What the fuck is going on? What do you want to do? As you see one of these flappy fucks here, and two of them are still embedded in his flesh, with three of them popped like pimples on the ground there.
And he looks really rough, right?
Oh, yes.
And he has his armor on or not?
He has his armor on,
Right.
because he was on watch.
Okay, first time for everything. I'm going to pull a patch. I'm
All right.
assuming that's an action.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, as Lucky runs out of his tent, sees what's going on, he pulls a piece of his patchwork coat off, and as soon as he does, it turns into a potion. And I can't force feed it to him, can I? Because I've used my action.
Unfortunately, you are correct.
So I have to hand it to him while I'm going to try and pat him out from the fire.
Yeah, 'cause, again, using a potion on yourself is a bonus action to roll for it, a standard action to drink it fully and get max healing, or using an action to feed it to another person.
So oh wait, I still have a bonus action, right? Yeah, I'll use a sorcery point. Why not? Sorry, I have to reread this every time because I think I keep fucking up. Right, that's fine. 2 sorcery points, and I'm going to whip this one.
All right, roll hit. I think that hits. I could be wrong with that beautiful nat 20.
I'm gonna do fire damage. That's the third one I've had this game. The fuck is going on?
Remember what we said. The moment you go wild magic, you're not going to roll ones.
Yeah, and yeah, we did say that.
And so 10 points of fire damage as you lash at that thing and it erupts.
Ew. And that's my turn.
Sal, it's your turn. You hear a sizzling pop of fire right outside your tent.
Ooh, and to put my armor on, it's an action, correct?
No, to put your armor on takes about 5 minutes.
Ooh.
15
okay.
actually.
Ooh. All
It
right.
takes 15 minutes to don armor.
That's fair.
Screw getting
yeah.
that armor on.
All right. She is going to just grab her warhammer and she is going to rush right on out of her tent. And let's see. So that's already 5 feet. She is going to.
No, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Offler.
Is it 10 minutes? I thought it was 15.
No, it's 10 for heavy, 5 for medium, 1 for light.
Oh, right.
15. What? I'm trying to figure out how to get around the tent to get to Totar. Oh, I could.
What? Well, actually, technically, it was there. That would put you in range to be able to touch him. that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, seeing the Totar is
He's also
significantly
prone.
Ooh. Yeah.
I am very much prone.
Yeah, so seeing that Totar is not doing well, she is going to go run over there, and I would use her action to help pull him up so he's not prone.
All right, so you're going to use the help action.
Yes, the help action.
Okay. I will also say, as you go running out, you kind of run through the seared dust cloud that was once one of these creepy bug monster things. It does not smell pleasant after it has been incinerated.
Delightful. There's no gore though, right?
No. He overkilled it dramatically, so it went big pop.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was literally incinerated. It was just dust. Like, it literally smells like something had been burnt completely to ash.
Delightful. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna kind of like just be really grim-faced, just trying not to breathe in it, like any of the ashiness in, as she's using her help action to help Totar.
Okay. So that's your action.
And I don't think. I'm 99% sure these are all actions. Oh. Oh no. And I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Totar.
All right.
So it's a 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
And what's the word?
Bird.
Burnt toast.
Jesus. So it's a d4 plus 4.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll that publicly if you like.
She's healing me with rage.
So you heal for 7 as she's picking you up, and I picture her effectively doing the equivalency of going, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck.
Yeah, like her hands are kind of shaky, trying to find like a good place that isn't singed to pull him up with, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you?
And they're
are you okay?
They're like stuck in his skin, and they're kind of flapping and flopping a little bit, and they've got like big bulbous bodies. They're creepy little things.
Oh, that is so ugly. Oh my god, that is so ugly.
Here.
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you
not
very
gonna
much.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. Above games are
The
actually
silence.
oddly cute.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
I was expecting the friend shaped.
It kind of legitimately actually looks friend-shaped. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want a stuffed animal of it.
It's horrifying. Anyways, is that it for your turn?
Yes.
Okay, so Ebony, it's your turn. You open up your tent flaps and you see Cell helping Totar to his feet, and there's a couple of these creepy multi-winged things buried with their needle noses buried in his flesh, flopping around as they're trying to get purchase and cling to him.
Ebony's face looks so disgusted at the fact she just got woken up fuckers. She just magic missile one of them. She's pissed. What? She's
Okay,
pissed
so-
she got woken up.
Firing all 3 of them at the one.
She's gonna do one at one of them and then 2 at one of them.
Okay.
She doesn't even get out of the tent. She just fucking nukes them.
She opens up the window and just goes, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, there's just like
This.
I can just picture a hand going past the tent flap, going, firing off magic bolt or magic missile, and just going back to bed.
So
She's really pissed.
So I gotta move you because
Your plans.
she pops them. Literally, they just erupt as these bolts of energy slam into them. And with that, the encounter of the night is over.
Can I still burst out of the tent?
You burst out of the tent as the last two erupt from Ebony's blasts.
What happened?
Bugs! Bugs!
Bugs! I look around at the ground at the bug viscera.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah, you can you could see most of the corpses of them from when Totar killed the first three. Yeah, the first three. The remaining three were like completely obliterated, but like those first three are kind of flattened, smushed, and battered on the ground.
First, head spiders. Now things that fly tonight. You all are bad luck. Also, we train how to get up faster.
Yeah, I'm gonna nod to that.
Hold on, I was
right there.
As everybody's still outside of their tent, Ebony's just like, nope, I'm going back in my knapsack.
All of a sudden, you feel your tent shake violently. You! Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the most emotion we've seen from Totar.
Yes.
Great.
It's amazing. So just so you guys know, if Ebony did not pop them when she did, they were going to immediately on their turn drain 1d4 plus 3 hit points of blood from
Oh god.
Totar.
Oh.
That was the best use of angry magic missile.
Yeah, though I will say, after draining a total of 10 hit points that way, they would detach and kind of flutter off full.
Oh, so we could just left him to it.
No, he would have died.
We could have choose gotten him back up, though, right?
But
No, I'm kidding.
But no, so the rest of
Drink
your
your damn
shift is uneventful.
I was gonna
Vernon?
do it then. Oh wait, is it my shift time?
Also, Vernon, do you or not Vernon? Totar, sorry, wrong beefcake.
Yes.
So
Woo.
yeah, the rest of your shift, Totar, is uneventful. Do you drink that potion that Lucky handed you?
I was gonna heal him.
Well, as Lucky goes to walk away, I hold out the potion. I'll get pressed. You'll save it for emergency. One where you all wake up faster.
I woke up pretty fast. Fuck you.
You're
Joking.
I expect you to be out here faster. I see turtles. Turtles missing limbs run faster than you.
Oh, I'll let you fucking die next time. As I close the tent.
Why do you know that turtles with missing limbs run faster than we did? Are you out here?
That's a good question.
They taste good.
Oh.
I'm gonna motion for Totar to come over to me, even though he's sitting right next to me.
I turn around. Yes?
All
Why
right,
do you look so small?
I entirely ignoring what he said.
Yeah, because
I'm
you're not
gonna-
wearing all your armor.
I'm gonna give the blood-soaked man a hug, and as I pat him on the back, assuming he lets me,
Totar kind of has his arms up. He's kind of like, what's going on?
as I
I
pat
have
him
no
on the
weapons.
back,
Besides the ones in my hands.
what?
Yeah, we
No
missed
other
the
weapons
first part.
back there.
Oh,
Oh, I
Alright.
said
As I do that, I let the lay on hands magic heal him, and then I turn away.
so you heal 11 more points.
Oh, thank you.
All right, back into the tent.
Who
I hear
is
from-
second watch? I think it was Cell or was it Evany?
I think it was Ebony.
All right, Evany.
What?
As I walk
Back
by
out.
Lucky's tent.
Roll a 1d20.
As I walk by, head spider.
Head spider.
Oh, like that's going to freak me out again.
Who gave that spider the head? Who's out here giving spiders head?
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Those are questions you need to keep to
Oh.
yourself and your internet history, okay?
Dear me. Anyways, so
Moving on.
anyways, Ebony, roll me a
Oh,
perception.
Perception?
Yes.
Alright, we're gonna roll a perception, and it is gonna be pretty good.
Oh no.
You need some bug spray.
The fuck does oh no mean to that?
No, chat. I was looking at chat.
yeah.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh.
Anyway, so that said, you're keeping a very alert eye out, looking about, especially after the events of not long ago. I would like for you to roll for me a d20.
Oh, a D20. Okay, just to GM.
No, public. The rest of your watch is extremely uneventful. You don't notice anything. There's like a little bit of a flurry of snow that falls for a few minutes as the clouds are passing by, but for the most part, the night's clear. You can see the stars. It's a nice reprieve from the chaos of about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah. And if anything, Ebony, if she is getting a little, she'll just do a little bit of produce flame to keep herself warm.
So you finish your turn and return to rest uneventfully. Who is third watch?
Alright, back to beauty sleep.
That
I
Ebony
will
waits.
do third watch.
All right, so
Probably
I'll
people
do
with
third
dark
watch.
vision.
the third watch, roll for me a perception check.
Also, Vernon, you
Ugh.
need your is actually good.
Yeah, I was thinking I would do the morning watch, like when it's almost time for everyone to get up.
No, you'll stay in bed.
Yeah, no. But no, we got it.
All right, so with that, roll me a 1d20.
Yay. Oh,
Cool. Roll me a
Too bad.
d100.
Oh god.
No.
Oh god. Thank
Yes,
good.
so-
Spiders.
Another spider head.
So as you're sitting there, you hear not too terribly far away.
What?
What?
I don't think that got picked up very
Oh,
well.
I just
damn.
heard whoop.
It was a howl. You hear a howl in the distance,
Oh boy.
followed by a second howl also in the same vicinity. What do you do?
how far away did it sound?
Roll me survival. You're not certain. It sounded close enough to kind of make you really nervous, but you don't know if it was just on the other side of that hill or, a quarter mile away. You don't have a frame of reference.
I'm going to wait a bit and see if anything comes of it
After
before I wake anybody up. Because
after a
Go on.
couple of minutes, you hear the howling again, but it sounds much further away.
okay. So now that I know they're not coming to attack us, there's something I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to skulk up to Totar's tent. And I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to make the sound of something skittering around his tent.
No! You're evil.
All right, so I
The
need
man has already had a bad night.
Totar. I need you to roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Why do you do this to me?
Remember,
That's angry.
turtles can get revenge.
Perception check at disadvantage.
So
Oh,
lucky,
wow, look
lucky.
at that. Big
As
numbers.
as you cast it, you hear all around his tent, and the response you hear. Did the microphone pick that up?
Sounded
No.
like you were snoring.
Yes, that was exactly what I was trying to do. Yeah, you just hear him snoring away.
Aw.
Really?
Yeah. So when somebody's asleep, they have disadvantage on perception checks.
He's really out then.
Oh yeah, I gave that basically a DC 10, and he failed. He slept through it.
All right.
I was
I'll mend the. I shall mend the door of his tent shut.
Well,
That's
that's
gonna
not how the
have
mending
catastrophic
works,
Consequences.
because it was made to be open, so you'd have to actually take the time to sew it shut if you want to shut it.
I will stealthily sew it shut then.
Oh
All right,
my
roll me a stealth check.
If combat ensues, we're toast.
Combat ensues, he gets a fucking rest.
All right. Roll me your Weaver's check, and Totar, go ahead and roll me another perception check at disadvantage.
What stat we talking about here, Chief?
Dexterity. Yeah, you sleep through it, and it's not a perfect job, Lucky, but you wanted to make sure you got it as efficiently as you could, but as expeditiously as you could. It's
Just
good
for
enough.
Shits and giggles. It doesn't have to be perfect.
You're pretty sure that, given how strong he appears to be, it'll take him no time to pop those threads and come straight out. But
Yeah.
the comedy of him going, "What the?" Right beforehand is what you're going for.
Mhm.
Okay, so that said, the rest of your watch is extremely uneventful. As you end your watch and you roust Sel from her rest and head back to your tent, Sel, I need you to roll for me a perception check.
Yay! She has her armor on for this, right?
You probably, when you got woken up, took your time to put your armor on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, perception check. Hello. Wait, where did I get the +4?
You still had bless or guidance. You had guidance toggled.
Oh.
But
Ignore the-
but ignoring that,
Guidance
it was
is
still a really good
cantrip, isn't
roll.
it?
Yeah.
But now with that, I need you to roll for me a d20.
Yay!
I need you to roll for me a 1d100.
Oh boy.
All the way down the list. Okay.
I rolled a 98, guys.
So, as
Holy
you are
crap.
sitting there admiring the stars in the sky, you can see light to the north in the sky. And then you realize that the light is dancing across the sky as you watch a beautiful aurora dance across the sky in brilliant colors of green, blue, and purple. You are just momentarily awestruck at the raw beauty that can be found in this world. You gain inspiration.
Hell yeah.
That, the rest of the night passes by uneventfully.
Yay.
Yippee.
Sorry. So, that said, as you guys all awake, fully rested from your long rest, we continue our travel.
Totar gets up, goes open his flat, grunts, looks at what is done, grabs top of tent, lifts straight up.
And comes out underneath the tent. That's hilarious.
Does the tent not have a bottom?
No,
not his
old timey
tent.
tents.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
typically
old timey
it's...
tents didn't have. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing you were about to say, so you go ahead.
Old timey tents didn't have bottoms to them. It was basically a cloth over basically a stick with stakes in the ground.
Yeah, so it's like you're the turtle.
Exactly.
Actually, wait, turtles also do have a bottom.
So,
Depends on what kind of soup they got.
So it's like it's a big hat.
that said, you guys continue your travel, and eventually you find yourselves facing you guys have approached quite close to the mountains. You could see where the foothills end and the actual aggressive escalating elevation of the mountains begins, maybe not even a quarter of a mile away. But one of the foothills, you find a bit of a cairn, a little man-made gourd or groove cut into the ground, winding its way down to a large stone door, double door setup, and it looks like it has not been like this path has been very, very sparsely traveled in recent years. In fact, you only found one. Well, actually, roll me perception and or survival. Your guys' choices.
Okay, so perception or survival?
Wow.
Damn.
Knowing of any of this would be better as a perception.
Why do I still have that?
God.
Why
I'm
do
gonna
I
use
do
one
that
of my
top?
inspiration dice for that. And hope I don't roll the same.
I will say, for the record, currently, both Celeste and Totar have a bonus inspiration that needs to be used before the end of the
Yep.
session. Just
I
wanted
am
to let you
burning
know.
mine.
And
That
also,
was better. I used my
Okay.
one. I have out of the two that I have.
Yeah, but I don't care. Fuck you, son.
Be nice to the guests.
but so
It's not nice to me.
Vernon. Oh, Totar, do you wish to roll a perception or survival?
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Okay.
survival? Oh. Hey, no, we're good.
All right, so most of you guys miss it, but Vernon kind of stops you guys and kneels down, as you notice in the slightly loamy soil, there's inconsistencies with the terrain, of footprints of somebody having recently strove past here within the past week, easily 5 days or less. And assuming you follow the trail, do you?
Why the hell not?
Well, as you're
Does
following,
Anybody disagree?
Oh,
I mean, we're in an uncharted territory for us, so
yeah, you've seen other like signs of life around here, but this is the first bit of humanoid life that you have seen, other than yourselves, since you guys entered into this area. And as you follow the trail, it leads to this stone door that, with the heavy cobwebbing that's inside this small cavern that you have, this man-made cavern that you've walked into up to this door, that it has not seen visitation in ages, but the door is slightly ajar, just big enough for a medium-sized humanoid to have slipped in.
God.
This isn't where we need to be, is it?
If you consult the map, it's in the right area.
Well,
There is no markers that you guys can easily discern. Actually, let me consult your languages. What languages do we speak?
Bullshit. Oh no, wait, I haven't learned Thieves' Cant yet.
I think one of you actually can
Dwarven,
speak it.
Dwarvish Elvish Common is what I can speak.
I don't think there's bullshit in D&D that doesn't have French.
So, Totar.
It's Elvish.
Uh-oh, I'm scared.
Totar, you recognize some of the characters, some of the symbolism on the wall or the door frame. A lot of it is worn to time, but the few words that you there's two words in particular that stand out to you, and they're not next to each other, but over here, this collection of glyphs over on the left hand side of the door frame, nearing the top but not quite to the top, that means heart. And on the opposite door frame, opposite side of the door frame, down near the bottom, there's a word that means darkness. But the rest of it is too worn, too degraded.
Is it like paint, or is it like almost like it's...
It was carved in like this. It wasn't carved into the stone. The stone was carved to make it a positive relief rather than a negative relief. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, they carved it in such a way that the words were coming out of the stone rather than carving the words into the stone, which is why a lot of the words that are broken and destroyed that are illegible have been basically broken smooth through time.
As I look at it, I look at them. I think we might be right place.
Yeah.
I point. Heart. Point down. Darkness.
I'm gonna squat down. Vernon is gonna squat down, looking to see if there's even words, as the very faded carvings are almost impossible to see.
Like, you don't recognize the symbols that he is identifying as being heart or darkness. They are not in a language that you recognize.
All right.
We could try something else. May reveal more, but need paper and chalk and charcoal.
I do not have that on me.
There goes a scholar without paper and pen. What's wrong with you?
I have paper and pen, but not charcoal and chalk.
Not chalk, just charcoal. Paper and charcoal. Anybody have used torch?
I have incense.
Oh, I have a torch. Didn't really use it.
I asked for the
Vernon is
incense,
just
and
gonna try to Sorry.
I was gonna ask for the incense.
Vernon's just gonna try to open the door wider.
Celeste
Get
would
ready to head inside.
Celeste would hand the incense.
Now I look over to the scholar. Paper, please.
She blah, 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 blah. She takes out her paper. I'm like, do you also need a knife?
No knife.
Okay.
Try something. And I take the
Paper's
incense and I rub it against the paper, see if it marks it at all.
A little bit. And Vernon, roll me a athletics.
Awesome. I'm gonna squat down and put my back into it.
It is a big, heavy ass door. It takes a little bit of straining because you're trying not to be too loud with it. At least I'm assuming you're trying not to be too loud with it.
Yeah.
But
I also don't want to break anything.
you're able to kind of grind it open a little bit more to where you're not going to scrape all your armor going in and out this door. Like it's not, you don't open it up wide enough to where you can stride through unopposed, but you are able to get in without any issue now.
All right.
The air from within is very stale. Very stale and has that slightly sour, humid scent of damp, stagnant air. Definitely a little bit of like mildew somewhere deeper within.
I stop. I look over to Vernon. Could not wait, could you?
No.
Weapon trap. You die. Then we had to drag body back.
I'm not that big.
Pat you on head. Learn patience. Save your life. Save many injuries. Less scars.
All right.
So, are you still doing something with the incense and the paper?
Yeah, what I was gonna do is Totar would walk up to the sections that are a little bit more faded, and he'd rub the incense across, try to make basically
Trying to make impressions of it, but
basically impressions to see if it comes out a little bit clearer. Because seeing with your eyes, and might get a little bit more information from an impression with your basic eyes.
yeah, unfortunately, because of the way it's all been worn down through time, you don't really get anything else. Like that character for that where they're depending on what came after that could be donkey or fire. And you're not sure which.
As I let out laugh, as I'm going through it. Could be a donkey in there. Could be fire. We shall find out if we bring an ass back with.
But with that,
It'd be a flaming ass.
you wish to descend into the temple, the mausoleum.
Okay, wait. We get all of our resources and stuff back from that last
Yes.
quest. I don't think I've.
I
done
was
that yet.
doing that for some of you guys as characters, but then I got re sidetracked by narrative.
All right, so it's definitely best everybody makes sure that they have all their resources back, all their spell slots and everything.
I'm back down to 3 spell slots because nature.
Fair.
I put my hand on Vernon's shoulder. You, pure human, not good eyesight?
Terrible eyesight.
Stand behind. I can see in the dark. As he smiles.
As you guys head into
We are not heading in yet.
Oh, okay.
As we're all around each other, I'm gonna kind of gather everyone up and remind them all what we're going in there for. We are after the Heartstone. Everything else is secondary. And this is pseudo like an inspiring leader speech. This is for a good that is greater than any of us. And we cannot fail. And we will not fail. Because we are more resolute than our opponents. Alright. That's it.
Tap you on the shoulder. Good speech. Proud many hearts. Look over to Lucky and them. Right?
Yes,
I think
yes,
that's
yes.
clap.
Very good.
I,
Very good.
I will give you, because an attempt was made, I'm going to give you a D4 with it.
Yippee!
So, let's see. So that's
Look at the
I'll
entire
come up
time.
with a
roll me a D4 plus 7.
I'll come up with
Do
a
it
better
publicly.
speech later. D4 plus 7?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Man. Just look up Mass Effect's "We Shall Hold the Line" speech.
Mass Effect? Oh.
That's all you need to learn.
But yeah.
How do I add the plus? Oh, I could just type it, right?
Yeah, /R space 1D4 plus 7.
Yay!
Hey, it's still one more than you would have gotten otherwise. So everybody's got
Yeah.
8 temporary hit points.
I'm happy with that.
Aw, yeah.
Hey, temporary hit.
That's
And
great.
that lasts until
that's
it's
like half your health bar.
that lasts until it's expended or your next short or long rest.
So here's a question: who can benefit from mage armor right now?
You and Evany, and Evany's already cast it on herself.
Right. I'm just asking in case anyone else wants, just in case.
I don't know if
to
you
be
can
honest-
cast mage armor on someone else.
You can. It's
Is
touch.
if it's a concentration, though, you can only have it on.
No, it's
It's
not
not
concentration.
concentration.
It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's for 8,
He's right.
it's for
You
8
can.
hours.
You could technically put it on
A willing
somebody
creature
else.
who isn't wearing armor. That's all it is. Okay. Cool.
Hey, Celine.
You could cast mage armor on a squirrel if you convince them.
Yes, I could, in theory, cast mage armor on a squirrel.
So, anyways,
It'd be pretty good for the doggy.
I might do that in the future.
so as you guys descend into the cavernous tunnel, as you guys are heading down this long flight of stairs,
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to cast it again. 1 second.
oh,
We rested for 8 hours, so
yep,
it would have worn off from the last one.
yep,
Sorry. So, no, that's fine.
we're good for now. Notch it up, and as you guys are descending down the stairs, Vernon, you are quickly overtaken by the darkness. You cannot see shit. Like if you look back, you could see the fading point of light in the distance of the door at the top of the stairs. And about halfway down the tunnel, just as the light behind you is little more than a pinprick, you notice a pinprick of light ahead of you. Down at the bottom of the stairs. As you guys continue forth, the light continues to grow until sorry, I'm having technical difficulties with moving pages. There we go. As you guys find yourselves descending the stairs into a simple square room with a pair of statues in the corner, looking like robed priests or priestesses. They are fairly androgynous, holding their hands up as if supplicating or pleading to their god. And a pair of torches magically lit on the wall on either side of the door ahead of you. In the distance, even through the closed door, you can hear very faintly a steady drip, drip, drip of moisture that is collected in the humid space of this mausoleum, which feels oddly warm when you compare it to the air outside, considering it is winter above and you are fairly deep now in the earth. What do you wish to do?
I'm gonna walk into the nearest wall.
Oh no, you can.
Actually, it's not still dark. There's torches.
Yes, there are light sources.
Why are they lit? I'm gonna look at the torches. Are they magic?
Roll me Arcana.
I'll look at Ebony.
The exasperated sigh was a character.
I shoot her.
Once.
I shoot her a quizzical like eyebrow.
Oops, wrong button.
She'll do it just
That-
this once.
Are these torches magic?
She is
Oh,
not
shit,
wasting
Sherlock.
detect magic on these things.
Roll me an Arcana check.
You don't even have to help if you want. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you know for a fact that these are magic torches. Uldris has so many of them inside the tower.
I grew up with these. They're fine.
I wonder if we could take them home. Went home.
They are like bolted
Oh.
in such a they are embedded in the wall, as it were.
Oh,
Ebony just gives that stare. I can literally ask one of the master mage towers if we have one back to port. She is so
I nod. I would like that.
As for me, I'm looking at the statue to see if they turn.
No, they don't.
Do the eyes follow us?
Their eyes are void of any discernible detail. There's no iris, no pupils. They are a solid, smooth surface. But the angle of their face, you know that they are facing upward. So if they did have pupils and irises, they would be looking upward.
So, anyone going
but
to
the-
try the door?
I'm gonna try to see what they're looking at.
The ceiling.
Yeah, that's the ceiling. Lucky mentioned a door. I only see stairs.
No, there's yeah. There. So that is a door.
The door. That the door.
That is a door.
Is there any characteristics on the door? Like any tags
Like door
or
handles.
or door handle?
I will say somebody needs to be up at 8 in the morning.
Ah.
Yeah,
So
I do.
it's a good thing that as you guys step forward, who's going to open the door first?
Totar.
Not me.
I'm gonna see if it's cursed.
Totar.
So Totar moves up to the door.
Maybe
Totar moves up to
can
the
read
door
it. Maybe there's words
And
on
looks
the
to
door.
see if there's any words on the door before opening.
There appears to be no words on the door.
Takes a deep breath. Places his hand on door.
And as you push, we will end the session there to continue next time.
Sweet.
How do you view? Okay. Okay, I see how it is.
So next time we'll spend 3 hours trying to open a door.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I will say, like, as you press on the door and the door starts to open, that's where we're ending.
Yeah, no, I mean like next time we spend 3 hours trying to get the door open.
No, that's a
The
different
door's
door.
gonna-
That's a different door. All right.
the
There's
door's
always
gonna, like,
one door.
welcome to my dungeon. I am very excited to run through this with you guys. I have some puzzles, I
That's
have
two
some
campaigns.
encounters.
That's 2
Boy.
campaigns we're stuck in dungeons.
Yeah.
We
Ah.
come together to destroy you.
I'll just wait till you get into mine.
But thank you guys for playing with me tonight.
Mhm.
I had a blast, and I am already looking forward to the next session.
Spiders.
And I will say, it's a good thing that you didn't roll some of the other rolls that you could have rolled, because one of the potential random encounters that was at risk of coming up was a chimera.
Oh
Oh,
god.
So, just saying.
He would have been just like, run!
But let's see who we got. Yeah, we're gonna go right out to Blackwater. So, thank you guys for hanging out.
Thank you for having us.
thank you for hosting.
It was fun.
And hopefully, everybody hanging out in chat, you guys enjoyed the new layout. I'm kind of proud of it.
I love it.
Ah, yes.
We are going to set up our raid and set up our, excuse me, my sub raid and follow raid. And any of you guys that are still going to hang out for a little while after this, I will talk to you guys shortly. All right, so that said, this was a hell of a lot of fun. We got some good story progression going on. Here's the sub raid message. Here's the follow raid message. Yes, so the next stream will be, it's going to be a little while. I can't remember exactly when we're going to be streaming next because my schedule is all kind of screwed up because a lot of it hinges on my wife's work schedule. But that said, keep an eye out, keep an ear out. I will be dropping alerts for whenever we're getting ready to getting ready to stream. I'm looking to do some more Helldivers 2, some more Baldur's Gate 3, some more Oblivion Remaster, and also, naturally, a lot more Dungeons and Dragons. So, once again, thank you guys for popping in. Thank you guys for your support. And thank you to the lovely ladies at thegrumpycookies.com for sponsoring all of this. That said, thank you guys very, very much for hanging out. And I forgot to do this. We have an ending screen. So thank you guys for hanging out. I love you guys. Stay safe. Choose kindness. Until next time, stay weird.